Let's start with this. Congressman Seth Moulton, he just recently, you reported, he called for every senator and Senate candidate to make their health records public shortly after the unexpected death of South Carolina Republican Senator Lindsey Graham and amid concerns about Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell's health.
Yes, a very timely call, and it also completely fits his approach to this race, which is essentially finding a new way every day to remind people that Ed Markey is 80 years old and has served in the Senate or in Congress for 50 years. He also makes the case, as he makes this call, that it's not just about Ed Markey, that if Democrats take back the Senate, they're going to need everyone there all the time to make the Senate work. We can take a listen.
Look, when Democrats take back the Senate in November, it will be by a razor-thin margin. And that's why we need to know that every senator can show up and be there for 6 years.
So how did Markey respond to this? Because Moulton does keep saying, it's not just about age. It's not just about this one race.
I have tremendous respect for your 50 years in office, right? It's not just about age.
I love how you're doing this even though
age.
You're so old.
Right.
So how is Markey responding?
Well, Markey's campaign manager put out a comment saying, the only thing healthier than Ed Markey is Seth Moulton's investment portfolio because the Markey campaign is trying to make the case that Seth Moulton has benefited inappropriately from making investments that he had advanced knowledge of as a congressperson, that he's reaped the benefits of these in a manner that the general public couldn't. It's a line of attack, I would say, that hasn't fully caught on yet. So that's how the Markey campaign responded. They tried to, once again get people to think about this pattern of investments on the part of Seth Moulton.
So they're essentially not even acknowledging the age thing, right?
They didn't take the bait, and it does not sound like he'll be releasing his health records. Although I do wonder, my guess is that Moulton will keep hitting this point again and again and again, and it may come to a point where Markey has to.
What's going on with the investments, though? Quickly, just...
the argument essentially that Markey makes is that Seth Moulton was privy to information as a member of Congress, sitting on certain committees, and was able to leverage that information to make personal financial gains in a way that the general public wouldn't.
Kind of like the teleprompter and the call sheet thing.
Kind of like the teleprompter and the call sheet thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You are moderating a debate on August 3rd.
Yes, co-moderating with Carrie Kavanaugh from Fox 25. And we would love ideas for questions.
How can people submit their questions before the debate?
Best way is to email me, Adam_Reilly, spelled Reilly, at WGBH.org.
Okay, great. Let's turn to Boston now. So last night, a vigil was held at City Hall Plaza for Louisa Gag, the 36-year-old city planner and cycling advocate who died after being hit by a truck at Roxbury Crossing in Mission Hill earlier this month. Her tragic death caused, I think people are still in a period of shock and mourning, but it's also caused a lot of outrage across the cycling community. It's renewed calls for the city to move forward on stalled plans. This is Mary McCarthy from the New England Mountain Bike Association speaking at last night's vigil.
We are all just trying to navigate this beautiful city of Boston safely. So I feel hopeful and devastated. The irony of it is just tragic.
So we talked to Galen Mook from Mass Bike earlier this week.
Yeah, that was a good interview.
Thank you. He's great. We talked a little bit about how there was this change from the first Wu administration to the second Wu administration, where there was a huge push within the campaign and then within the first administration for better bike infrastructure, safer streets. This is the work that Louisa Gag was working on, including she worked on something from Marty Walsh's administration called Boston 2030, and she was also part of the Vision Zero program. Mm-hmm. So, I think this is people are kind of balancing the shock of this and the tragedy of this and wanting to talk about like who she was as a person, but this was also such a huge part of her life. And you hear in that quote, the irony, right?
Right.
So the Wu administration is facing all of this criticism now. What are you hearing from them in your reporting? Because you've been reaching out.
I have. And it seems like what people are confused about, and this came through in your interview with Galen, Michelle Wu was an earnest advocate for bike safety in her first term. And then she pulled back when she was running against Josh Kraft. I think people understand why she pulled back, because Kraft was saying, there's too much attention being paid to, bus improvements, bike improvements. People can't get around the way they want to be able to, talking about people who are driving cars, obviously. I think people understand why she pulled back, but not why she hasn't gone back in the other direction. We actually, I think, can play the exact moment where she announced that this was on Boston Public Radio. It was in March 2025, I believe, the exact moment where she signaled she was going to pull back a little bit.
For the last 15 years, it's basically been an experiment in how we can quickly and temporarily prioritize safety of cyclists and pedestrians, even if it ends up not looking how it should or not feeling like the roadways are as usable for everyone else as well. I truly believe that there's a way to balance the needs of delivery trucks who have to serve our small businesses, of pedestrians, of drivers, and of cyclists, and that we have to constantly be in an iterative conversation to get that right.
So yeah, I guess the question is, it's not so much about Josh Kraft and the race against Josh Kraft, because she could have just reinstated all of this. Right. So now cycling advocates are saying, well, this was preventable. And there's a lot of people in the community who are wondering if this specific incident was preventable.
What I've heard from City Hall, and this is on background at this point, is that the area where Louisa Gag was killed, this specific spot where she was killed, was not part of this Mission Hill improvement.
I was just reading that plan, though, and that intersection of those two streets of Tremont and... Wait, it's Tremont and
Parker. I believe.
Yeah.
If it wasn't part of it, it was right on the margin of it.
Right.
It was maybe 5 feet away, 10 feet away. The Wu administration is also saying that there were there was no dedicated protected bike lane there, so no bollards were taken down.
Okay.
The sort of temporary dividers, and no bollards were slated to be put up.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you following up on this. We will continue to report on this as things develop. GBH politics reporter Adam Reilly, thanks so much for being here, as
Thanks,
always.
Tori.